Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Galley La Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen episodes 32 through 34. We're a bit backlogged on the content, but I think it's better done in chunks this way. I'm Geboss, and the other co-host is Akainu Fanboy.
Yo.
So, if you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. So we can keep bringing you more content. So Shibuya arc is in full swing now.
Boom.
Yeah, and it's in full motion. So what did you think of these episodes?
Pretty crazy. It had kind of like a hard time like comprehending. I mean, just like it's like whoa, like this is actually kind of happening in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was like obviously like I knew some stuff was gonna start going down and everything, but it was just like kind of crazy. So first, I kind of thought in episode 32 is like when a lot of the hype shit was gonna start happening, but we kind of got like a what was it, like a grasshopper of some sort, right?
Yeah, you didn't like the hype battle between Yuji and the grasshopper.
Wasn't expected.
I completely forgot about it, honestly, because I had read it in the manga, and I was like, oh yeah, this did happen.
What?
Yeah, some of the animation during that was weird too. I don't know if you noticed that, but for me, like they were switching between the hallways and everything, and it just seemed very kind of disjointed, like you couldn't follow it that well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got to see Yuji with Mei Mei and her brother. And any thoughts on them so far? Or?
I think they have a good dynamic. I like her character design and everything. I thought she was really good in the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, and I thought just seems confident and well handled and everything like that, and just a unique fighting style. And she was able to stay calm pretty much throughout the episode and everything. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I do. It's cool to see Yuji be there with other faculty members too. Mixing it up a bit.
Yeah,
it's a good way to introduce other characters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we also got, or I think it was the previous episode that introduced the second year teacher for like Panda and everyone, the sword guy, Kusakabe. Yeah, I think that was last episode. But yeah, not much to say about the grasshopper. That took up most of episode 32.
Well, we do have that playground scene with Geto, quote unquote, and the rest of the spirits, where they kind of talk about his plan to take him down and everything.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting and kind of yes and no expected, because you don't really see Gojo as the most heroic guy in the world. Sometimes, he's kind of trolly, but he deep down he does kind of have a heart, with saving humans at the end of the day, and I think in the Infinity arc, it was just kind of like, I mean, sorry, the prequel arc. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but they were, Gojo, Geto was seen as a good one, and Gojo was kind of seen as like kind of more jaded and unorthodox in a way, and we get to see his goodness kind of come out here with how he limited his power extremely not to kill as many people.
Yeah, and I think it was a good plan from the cursed spirits, just to surround him so that he can't unleash his full power. But yeah, the whole Gojo thing is pretty cool. Also, I think it's kind of funny if you think about it, because like cursed spirits can't be seen by regular people, so all this stuff is like people are bursting into fire and everything. The only one that they like regular people can see is Choso, the guy who does the blood techniques.
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool and interesting, like a unique way how they handled it and everything. But I mean, yeah, that was more of my thoughts for like the first episode with episode 32. I thought it was like really well done and everything, and it was a good setup for the next two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say that the whole domain amplification thing is still kind of confusing to me, because they don't really explain it that much in here, I think, compared to the manga, and even the manga makes it a little bit more confusing. Like how they can do domain amplification to try and punch through his curse technique. Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that's getting thrown around. A lot of,
and then
terms.
Right. It was funny though at like the start of episode 33, how they go through all the students' opinions on Gojo and everything, and it was funny to see all the second year students just call him an idiot and that's it, you know? He's an idiot, you know?
Yeah, I think...
To be fair, Gojo did send them his debate to trigger Yuta from going crazy on Geto in the movie, you know? So
maybe it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
So maybe they're still kind of jaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think that they know him better than the first years.
Yeah, they haven't been used as pawns yet, you know, so but yeah, so it was like crazy that they kind of see this fight break out and everything though in episode 33, and he does come in with like a strong sense of confidence, and it makes sense like why he would be confident, you know. He's still like calling them weak and just destroying them, you know. It's just like he's still doing it effortlessly without going all out.
Yeah, like he rips Hanami's whole like eye stalks out. But yeah, I thought the animation was also done really well in this whole fight scene. But yeah, speaking of Hanami, did you expect their fate?
No, that's what I mean. I was like, there's like so many unexpected things on both sides, and he annihilated it. It was just kind of like a comical death in a way, because it was just done, and then that's it. Move on, you know?
Yeah.
But like Hanami barely got out alive with the infiltration Jujutsu high and everything, right? You know, it was it needed to be healed and everything right afterwards. So barely got out alive with that one. So it was just the death here is like, I guess when you think back about it, it's not super surprising, you know.
I mean, out of all of them, I think Hanami showed off the most in the previous arc.
Yeah.
With fighting like Yuji and Todo.
Yeah, they're just like, oh man, yeah, God, all right.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's good. I think it means Gojo went down fighting in a way too, you know.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the whole Gojo thing. Did you get the whole thing with the domain expansion?
I think so. Could I explain it well and properly? No, probably not. But
yeah.
I think I have a comprehension. I don't know if there's anything you want to add on it with it, but
well,
yeah,
just that he, I guess, like unlimited, like if he used his whole domain expansion for an extended period, like it would permanently damage normal people. So he did it in like 0.2 seconds, and then it just stunned everyone. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was just, the animation was wild and crazy and everything, but like, and I think it's like supposed to be like, okay, this is going on for a bit according to us, right? But he, you know, with him it was just like nothing, right, and everything, and he was able to just like get the whole job done, which obviously would take like insane amounts of stress on his body, like right before. So he did it basically to like save all the people there. Well, not all of them, but as many as he could, basically, you know. And again, so it shows his goodness, and in a way it's like a further sacrifice because they weren't expecting him to do this. You know?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a double restraint on him when you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had to save everyone from the subway full of the transfigured humans too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Compared to the manga, I feel just seeing everything like in color. In the manga, I felt like there was more of a horror aesthetic to it compared to this, where you see it in full color. But that much might just be because it's in black and white.
Yeah, I mean, it was still like kind of horrific to see all the people die. Also, I mean, like it's a disturbing scene because all those are all like former humans too. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was just a bloodbath in all aspects of it too. And then just to see Gojo afterwards, and after the 299 seconds, he like looks super badass and everything,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole... Okay, so we get to the end of that part, and then quote-unquote Ghetto shows up. So,
Yes.
what do you think of the whole reveal with him?
So I like the shock where... Okay, so because like when I was watching the movie, I was under the impression like, okay, Ghetto got spared by Gojo. Because he came back in the series kind of thing, and then to see the shock on Gojo's face, and I like how they do that really quick flashback of just like all their memories together. And so I think like the placement of the movie and the prequel arc before this is really like well timed, and you can get to know Ghetto like pretty well and who he is as a character, and in a way why it would be like an emotional shock in terms of strategy for Gojo further, where he's not going to react well enough, so I think it makes it more believable that he got captured, but I like kind of like right after he's like, oh wait, no, you're not him, and which Ghetto quote unquote is like really psyched out or freaked out that he just knows immediately it's not him,
Yeah, he does get a name later on, but I won't spoil it.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
quote unquote. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked how they did kind of like Ghetto's whole story in reverse, because you have him in the main series, and then you see him in the movie, and then you see him in the prequel arc. Like, just telling his whole story backwards makes you think about his standing, because like the author had to consciously make sure that they didn't cross paths at all in the series, so that this would be such a big reveal as it is.
Yeah, and that one shot where you kind of see him smiling when he takes off his head, and he's just kind of crying and smiling at the same time, or not crying, but you have all the liquid coming out.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like kind of like a smiling monkey, like the facial expression he did.
Yeah.
So I think there's kind of a degree of irony where he's like the monkey to this possession right now, and which I think later on Ghetto doesn't appreciate,
Yeah.
being manipulated in this way,
Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to episode 34 then, because that's where.
But the details. I think the detail is out in the 33 though that Gojo respectfully handled his body to be buried. I think, right?
Yeah, he left it up to Shoko, I think. I need to double check on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ghetto's body wasn't officially like taken, so I guess that's how he got taken over.
And Gojo's kind of trolling around saying like, you sure you don't want Ghetto's body? And then he was like, he's kind of like, why would you want me before, there was somebody else that beat the crap out of Ghetto before I killed him. That was Yuta.
Yeah,
so he's like hyping up Yuta.
Your boy.
Yeah. And I like how he's hyping up like, go take his body, not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why the second year students don't like him that much, But so yeah, it is like interesting kind of how I don't know if he's being serious or not, like I think it's like it is a compliment and trolling at the same time with Yuta, like Yuta's the one that defeated him, not me, in a way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was kind of a cool like, and again, like I think they've kind of been incorporating the movie and the prequel phenomenally with this second season, just really fluidly. It's like really well done, you know.
Yeah, it makes you almost forget that Yuji's the main character.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, just just really quick. The episode 33, I liked how it opened with like everyone describing like Satoru Gojo is the strongest or an idiot or whatever, and then the last line is Satoru Gojo is sealed.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's a neat little bookend.
Yeah. That was funny. And then so kind of at the start with 34, I thought that was like a really crazy scene with
Mechamaru.
Or Geto's body. Or that's what I was referencing. But yeah, Geto's body like started to choke.
Oh yeah.
Choke out this. That was really cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, it goes back to Mahito's whole thing with like, which came first, the soul or the body? So that was interesting how it's like basically confirmed to be a combination of both.
And yeah, so he probably, like I said, he just doesn't appreciate being used as a monkey, like a tool, basically. You know, with that big complex, he wanted power and everything, and he just like feels, because like he hates spirits, right? The whole thing, he wants to get rid of cursed spirits, and now he's, from what I can tell, he's being manipulated by a cursed spirit, basically, right?
Well,
without spoiling it.
Yeah. Well, he wants to get rid of all the humans. That was Geto's plan. He wanted to get rid of all the humans so that it would only
because they were creating the cursed spirits, though.
Basically, yeah. So he was going for like the source.
And so, kind of the irony of him keeping on to consume these spirits, and now a spirit seemingly seems to be controlling him, right?
Yeah.
So, you are what you eat, in a way.
Yeah.
So, and then the ceiling with Gojo. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of layers of just your former best friend, former arch rival, corpse being used to seal you away.
Yeah.
A lot going on there on an emotional level.
Yeah. The whole I'm just gonna call him Geto for right now. His whole thing is in this arc. I really like his whole thing that he's got going on in this. Especially we're jumping ahead a little bit, but later on in the episode we see the two girls who Geto rescued, like the reason that he basically turned against Jujutsu Society. They're like, we want his body back. So I guess they knew that he was possessed.
Like, we're not sure when they find that out. We don't see what happens there, but I think I believe, if I remember correctly, they said something to the effect of, "You're going to regret this," I think. And I wouldn't want to get on their bad side, you know. I'm just gonna say that right now, you know.
Yeah.
Just creepily having their head sticking out, saying that, you know. Yeah. It just because I think like there's kind of like cosmic justice in a way, because like they always say like, hey, never break a pact or something terrible is gonna happen to you. And he's like, well, technically that wasn't a pact, but there might be like a narrative justice where, you know, basically he's gonna get his comeuppance for doing that. You know?
Yeah, he's explicitly said like, make sure next time you make a pact, like an official one, because like we saw that like Yuji made it with Sukuna, and that's like
Mekimari did.
What?
And Mekimari did too.
Yeah. Speaking of him, I brought him up a little earlier. Did you expect him to show up again?
I brought me a little bit of hope, but then I'm like, no, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then, like, it turned out he was dead. Because I did like him as a character and everything. Mei was like kind of like Hey, that was funny. It was just like, hey, can I get the money from your bank account?
Yeah.
So I guess like I don't know if I was disappointed or maybe it's a reasonable expectation, but for Yuji to like not be emotional hearing about Mekamaru's death, or be surprised at all, but
well, I guess because he was investigating Mekamaru and it found out that he was the traitor. So
yeah,
I guess at that point he's a little bit detached from it. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just have like an expectation of other shonen in a way where
everyone's friends. Everyone's gonna break down crying. That one.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, or at least show some like, oh, whoa, you died. That's crazy. But it wasn't just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll say it's a critique per se. I'm just like, I mean, like I said, contrary to Hunter x Hunter, it's at least they're acknowledging he was a character.
Yeah.
How he was killed off and everything.
Yeah, and we get to see Mekamaru said that he left he left 3 like vestiges of himself around. And one was Yuji, the other was spying on them, spying on the ceiling, and we don't know where the third one is right now.
Yeah, and it's a further testament that he wasn't truly a bad guy. He was just weak in the end.
Yeah.
And he gave into despair. He didn't take Panda's words of advice of like, to just like have more appreciation, for what he has and everything, So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of character deaths, which may or may not be confirmed, what about Ichichi's?
That was sad.
Yeah, just that I think that's more brutal in the anime than it is in the manga. I think he just gets stabbed through once. Like he gets stabbed like 4 or 5 times in this and hits his head on the railing. That's brutal.
And he is like a significant character too.
I know. In my rewatch, I was like, this guy is like actually pretty significant.
In both like the movie and in season 1.
Yeah.
I kind of thought like he'd be someone that'd make it to the end, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we don't know if he's dead yet. It's not confirmed.
I mean, yeah, it's JJK. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But like, it's just still like shocking, like well done, shocking.
Yeah.
Like that was like a great shock. Yeah.
Yeah, and they brought like this goober back. Do you remember him from the invasion, where he did like
nothing? And I'm like, yeah, he should have died. So
yeah,
but who knows? That might be corrected in this arc. I haven't seen it, but
yeah. I all I'll say is that this is only the starting point of the craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we get the whole part with Yuji going up and yelling out, warning people that Gojo's sealed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For some reason, I really like that part. Just him like yelling that Gojo's been sealed, like warning everyone, and yelling out for Nanami.
Yeah, that was a cool scene and very shonen-esque, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. And then they have that debate among the spirits on whether they kill Yuji or not, which I thought that was interesting. I thought that was cool. I thought it brings some characterization to all of them, and
they're not like they're not one note like evil people. They have their own personalities.
Yeah, no, that was cool. All goals and ambitions and all this stuff, and I like it. I think it's more unique to how you would see evil spirits act out as like these chaotic entities, that there's no harmony,
That's true, yeah. Yeah, they're all, it's like they're all focusing on the same goal, but they have no synergy compared to the other side, which, who also is working together, but they're much more cohesive, because I don't know if cursed spirits could ever work together in harmony like regular people could. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see, and then I believe is the guy with the beanie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I get Naruto, and it's just confusing because there's another character in this episode that looks like Ino from Naruto, so I don't know what's going on, bro. I do appreciate his love for cats, so that was +1 for his character.
Yeah.
That's very very epic. But yeah, so I thought their plan was interesting, and I like to see Nanami strategizing about everything. I thought that was really cool. And so Ito's like a new character. I feel like okay, this is my instinct. I feel like he's gonna die a terrible death because he seems like a nice guy, seems to be powerful, but he's like gonna be cannon fodder. That's kind of my first instinct. Or he kind of might just, not in the Naruto mindset, he just kind of might be just like a goofy instructor like Yamato from Naruto, So, I don't know. So that's just kind of how I view his character. I like his character. I like his fight scene in the JJK movie and everything, But just with the high amount of deaths in this arc already, I don't think he has a high shot of living. That's just my personal instinct, at least, So
Okay.
because they've already, yeah.
I was gonna say, so I guess we're in predictions. So any other things you want to call out for certain characters?
So I would say kind of like the older instructors for each group. I think most of them will die. I forget the gentleman with the coat, the raincoat on. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh yeah, Kusakabe. Yeah.
Yeah, Kusakabe. I feel like most of them, if not all of them, will die, and I think this might be a crazier prediction, but I think one of the students might die too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And if all that were to happen, I think that the majority of the spirits are going to die on their side, on their team. If one of the main students is going to die on their side too, during this incident. So.
Okay.
On the fate of Gojo, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, because we get to see him like even like sealed. He's like messing with people because he increased his weight in the prison realm. Like they can't even move him.
Yeah, so that was great. It's very well done episodes. Very very shocking. We're just like,
yeah,
yo, what's going on kind of thing. But no, yeah, I appreciated it. I've been really enjoying the arc so far, and I'm looking more forward to the rest of it. So, and I think we have another episode coming up shortly.
Yeah. Did you see the brief after credits scene?
I don't believe I did actually. So,
okay. If you have it pulled up.
Let's see. Yeah, I could have. Yeah, maybe we can talk about the next one, but
yeah.
Yeah,
it leads right into the next one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it for the next one then, and then we'll get moving to it and everything. So
yeah.
But any closing thoughts?
No, really good episodes. I think there's a little bit of I don't know what you would call it, but the animators from MAPPA for JJK are coming out and saying like conditions are horrible and everything. So I don't know how that'll affect the overall production of the season, but I just hope that they get treated better. I know that animators in Japan are not treated the best, so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so nothing else. So once again, if you made it to the end, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't, and let us know what you thought of the episodes and what your predictions are if you haven't seen it, if you're an anime only. And we will catch you next time.
Have a good one. Peace.